Sure. So let's pray very sincerely for the surgery. Dale Garanga also had a surgery. He's at home recovering. He needs our prayers too. So, Dale Garanga Priya, we love you. We pray for you. Hare Krishna. Okay, we are Krishna Daya Prabhu. Would you like to do prayers, invocation prayers? Try. Thank you.
Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarani Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Krishna Daya Prabhu. Okay, we are reading from Canto 10, Chapter 31, the Gopis' Songs of Separation, the topmost section of the Bhagavatam. Text 6 and 7 today. Text 6. Vraja janarti hanvira yusitam nija janasmaya dvamam sanasmita bhaja sakhe bhavat kinkarismano jalaruhananam charudarshaya. Translation by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. O you, gopis are telling Krishna, O you who destroy the suffering of Raja people, O hero of all women, your smile shatters the false pride of your devotees. Please, dear friend, accept us as your maid servants and show us your beautiful lotus face. I'm looking at Krishna Daya Prabhu's beautiful lotus face. It reminds me of Krishna. Yeah. Okay. Text 7. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Your lotus feet destroy the past sins of all embodied souls who surrender to them. Those feet follow after the cows in the pastures and are the eternal abode of the goddess of fortune. Since you once put those feet on the hoods of the great serpent Kaliya, please place them upon our breasts and tear away the lust in our hearts. Purport. In their appeal, the gopis point out the Lord Krishna's lotus feet destroy the sins of all surrendered conditioned souls. The Lord is so merciful that he even goes out to herd the cows in the pasturing ground, and thus his lotus feet follow them about in the grass. He has offered his lotus feet to the goddess of fortune, and has placed them upon the hoods of the serpent Kaliya. Therefore, considering all this, the Lord should place his lotus feet on the gopis' breasts and satisfy their desire. That is the logic the gopis employ here. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtadya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, I am going to start. So what immediately comes to mind when we are reading these lines, very intimate lines by the gopis, by the topmost devotees of the Lord. It says here, your smile shatters the false pride of your devotees. So we have this disease that's called pride. And what's the antidote? Krishna's smile. When Krishna hears about our difficulties, problems, or hurdles, he doesn't get upset, he doesn't get angry, he smiles. He smiles. Smiling Krishna, who just stole some butter, is my favorite picture of Krishna. That's the picture of Krishna that I personally relate to very much. Smiling Krishna just stole some butter. He's looking at you so innocently, saying, is this what you're going through, really? And just makes everything, puts everything in perspective. You know, our petty troubles compared to Krishna's smile is nothing. Krishna smiled to Arjuna. Krishna smiled to the gopis. Krishna smiles. That's what he does. And that smile shatters the false pride of your devotees. False pride means I am the enjoyer, I'm here to enjoy, and I'm here to control. That's the false pride. And I'm entitled to the result of my efforts. That's false pride. And what's the real pride? The real pride is Krishna is so wonderful. Krishna is so great. I'm small, but Krishna is great. We take pride in Krishna. He defeated all the demons. He shattered all the pride in his devotees. So we're proud of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was so regal. He's so regal. His posture, everything about Srila Prabhupada, we can take pride in that. When we finish our rounds on time, we can be proud of that and grateful to Krishna that he allowed us to finish our rounds, to complete our vows for the day. We can take a little pride in that. Because Krishna reciprocates with our sincerity and our seriousness. Srila Prabhupada would emphasize this quality of a sadhaka, a practicing devotee. That you have to be serious. One time Srila Prabhupada said about one devotee who was just a teenager, 16-year-old teenager. He was still going to school. This teenager was on the morning walk. Kirtanananda Maharaj brought him from New Vrindavan to meet Prabhupada. It was in Los Angeles. So they took the teenager on the morning walk with them. All the big swamis, the big sannyasis, the big book distributors, all the big shots, they were there following Prabhupada. And this teenager, he got distracted. He was looking at crabs on the beach. And Srila Prabhupada pointed that out and he said, he's not serious. And then the following day, the boy was gone and was never seen again. So we want to be serious in our service. We want to take it seriously. Seriously means there has to be commitment there. A certain level of commitment has to be there. Sometimes we just don't feel like doing service or chanting our rounds. That should be put aside. All those feelings should be put aside, and commitment has to kick in. I have to do it. And then the feeling will come. So it's not just commitment or just feeling, it's both. It's commitment and experience of Krishna's presence in our life. So Krishna's smile shatters the false pride, and the gopis are appealing to Krishna. They're saying, dear friend. They address Krishna as their friend. Dear friend, accept us as your maid servants. That's our prayers as devotees. Accept us as your servants. Don't show yourself to us. Do not come in front of us. Do not fulfill our desires. Do not sort out our problems. We don't need Krishna to find us a parking space when we need it. Our appeal to Krishna is, Krishna, please accept us as your servants and show us your beautiful lotus face. I'm looking at Krishnadaya again. Krishnadaya Prabhu, you're beautiful. Show us your lotus face. And then, alarm is going off. And then it says here, your lotus feet destroy the past sins of all the embodied souls. So it's the smile and the feet. So they're the two features of Krishna that stand out for us in these verses that we're reading today. The smile destroys the pride, and the lotus feet destroy the past sins of all the embodied souls. Karma is very complicated, and it's impossible to figure everything out karmically. What is going to happen to us? Have I deserved this, or have I not deserved it? It's very difficult to figure out, and it's not our job as devotees figuring out our karma. Our karma is meant to be destroyed by Krishna's lotus feet. But there has to be one element. It's not just Krishna's feet defeating everything everywhere. There has to be an act of surrender to the feet, and then the feet will destroy the past sins. Because Krishna gives us this freedom of not being with him. But when we surrender to his feet, then the feet will act on our past sins, and our karma. It basically stops being karma, and it becomes Krishna's mercy. One devotee was given class one day here at the Bhakti Center, and they said, life is what you make of it. If you prefer to think of your difficulties as your karma, then it's your karma. But if you choose to surrender to Krishna's smile, to Krishna's lotus feet, all your karma becomes Krishna's mercy. Krishna's mercy, Krishna's personal custom-made arrangement for you, for us, to get closer to him. It may require some pain, some perseverance, some ecstatic experiences, everything. But ultimately, the goal of Krishna's workings in our life is to bring us closer to him. And Krishna's mercy is manifested through the guru, through the spiritual master. It's not just some cloud floating in the air and it just pouring on everyone. Mercy works a little differently. It's there for everyone, but we have to voluntarily make ourselves available to it. Receptive. Right, Jeffrey Eckler, is that the right word? Receptive to the mercy. It's there for everyone, but we have to voluntarily make ourselves available to the guru, to his sweet will, and to Krishna's mercy. Okay, I think this is it. My ramble is over. I invite everyone to step in and glorify Krishna on this call. I saw someone's hand up. I think it was Bhakta Billy Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this beautiful, beautiful class. To be among all my friends here, I have a personal experience that I wanted to share. Can you hear me okay? Okay, I have a personal experience that I want to share. I allowed my false pride to get the best of me. So my false pride. I have a medical condition that requires medical help, and I was going on my own path. You know, I can do this. I don't need any medical. I'm just gonna. I wound up right now. I'm in a medical facility, and it's gonna be my third week, going on a month. And this class right now, what you just said, it's so important for me to understand Krishna's beautiful smile and his beautiful lotus feet. I always get Christmas socks on Christmas by Interfaith. And, you know, I think of it as, you know, walk the walk, don't talk the talk, you know? And so I'm thinking, you know what? Right now, I'm gonna do my rounds over here because I was trying. It was like a little block, like thinking, I'll do my rounds when I get home. No. I could do my rounds here. So I'm actually gonna reach out to one of to Adi and Alan Angel. Maybe I can get like a little bracelet. I can do some rounds over here. But anyway, this is my personal experience, and I thank you for allowing me to share this beautiful. In this beautiful class of engagement in Krishna's service.
Thank you, Billy Prabhu. Wonderful. You're always so personal in this class and so vulnerable. We appreciate that. And we're there
Hare
with
Krishna.
you. Same Lord. This world, this whole entire world, this whole entire creation is a facility. And we're all here to be corrected, to be encouraged. That's what Srila Prabhupada, Srila Kirti Prabhu was reflecting on Srila Prabhupada's mentality towards his disciples. And his service, Srila Prabhupada's service, was to encourage everybody, not to put someone down or, you know, put someone on the spot and shame somebody.
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada as a guru is there for us to encourage us on our path, to inspire. Yeah. So in the spirit of Prabhupada, Billy Prabhu, we are encouraging you to chant your rounds nicely as best as you can wherever you are. And, we're inspired by your example. In our own. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, who's next? Who's speaking next? This is a community class. Time to give back. Krishna Daya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So thank you for your starting the class wonderfully. Like a couple of points. Like the first thing is about Krishna's smile, shattering the false pride. So just some points. Yeah. So the thing is, like here, they in this particular context, so Gopis felt that so they are exclusive. I mean, they are the topmost devotees, at least for a short while, and then Krishna left them. So this sort of minor competition tendency, or I am the best tendency amongst the devotees, that Lord doesn't like. Okay, so what Lord likes the most? Even Prabhupada also. So if you love me, show me how you cooperate amongst yourself. Like Srila Prabhupada always said, ISKCON is like my body. So of course there are differences. This is Kali Yuga, so differences in how we do things, how we perceive things. But it's most important is to cooperate amongst ourselves. And then when we cooperate amongst ourselves, so the Lord Prabhupada automatically smiles, and Lord also automatically smiles. So the most important thing is cooperation between the devotees. So that brings a natural smile. And what will happen, if you want to cooperate, then we have to keep our pride aside. So it is said, Dambam Mahatupasya. So the pride can be cured by, serving or cooperating with the great people, or assisting great people. So that is one point. And then the other thing is like she said, like commitment, and then experience. So when we have experience, then only we will practice properly. But at the same time, as Jamuna Jaya Prabhu also said, and then you also said, commitment is also most important, because all the times we may not be able to experience, but so commitment takes us in that direction. So once Srila Prabhupada is always encouraging, that's what you said. So once one devotee came, and then young, new bhakta, so he came and said, Prabhupada, I don't feel like bowing down to you. So then Prabhupada said, that's all right, but still you bow down. Because it's a process. We will understand, the greatness of a spiritual master, an exalted person. It may not be immediately, but if you are, in that process, over a period of time, we understand how great it is, and then what is the advantage of bowing down to him. So we may not be able to understand the entire process immediately, but as a matter of discipline and then regularity, so we do, even in the holy name also. So the analogy is given of this a person who is suffering with jaundice. So he may not be able to taste the sweet item, sugarcane juice. He may not be able to taste as sweet, but regularly if he takes, in a disciplined way, so over a period of time, the jaundice will be cured, and then he will be able to taste the sugarcane juice actually as sweet. So similarly, the process of bhakti, sometimes it is, anything we want to do in a disciplined way, so there will be a lot of obstacles, and then so we tend to give up. But so if we do over a period of time, we'll receive the taste, and then so we will do. So and then Vrajajanarti. So gopis, they started addressing, "Oh Krishna, you are the remover of the distress of the people of Vraja," and then pride is also one of the distress. So gopis are also, very intelligently they are saying that. And then so sometimes actually Chaitanya Prabhu said that this Gopi Geet, all these verses, so in one sense they glorify Krishna, and then simultaneously it's a complaint also. So gopis also complain, "Oh, you have left us, so you are also keeping us in distress. So please come back." So it's a complaint in the prayer, each and every verse. So these are the points.
Thank you, Krishna. Beautiful points. It's very nice. When sometimes we think, "Oh, this devotee is crazy. I'm not going to work with them. I'm not going to cooperate." That's false pride. And Krishna will smile when we step over the differences and just work together humbly. Wonderful point, Krishna Prabhu. And commitment, the discipline. We're disciples. Disciples means discipline. They're like a guardian rail. When the experience is not available immediately, then discipline kicks in. So nice, Krishna. Thank you for those points. And the gopis are saying here, you placed your feet on a hood of a demon. So why can't you place them on our breasts, it says. Hare Krishna. Okay, Nancy R., you're speaking next.
Thank you so much, and my obeisances to everyone here. I'm a very humbly a neophyte to bhakti, but the two things that came up for me was, with that beautiful glance that this false pride is removed, that I can be open, my heart can start to open up so that I can actually hear Krishna's mercy from all different sources. I can listen for that Krishna's whisper if indeed I keep on thinking that, as said, this other person that I'm working with, well, you're not as advanced as I am, or I don't need to listen to you. I can miss so much in life that is a lesson that Krishna is trying to teach me, coming from all different sources. So that beautiful smile, removing that sense of, I am the most important. What I think is the most important thing is really very important. And then the second verse I really love, because it doesn't say, place your feet upon our breasts so that you can satisfy our lust. It's to tear away the lust, so that in fact that sexual aspect of this can be removed, so that I can purely love you, so that I don't have to get caught up in something that I don't want to, because I want pure unattached love for you. So those are the couple of thoughts I had, but thank you so much for letting me share. Hare Krishna.
Wow, Nancy R., you're so devotional. Nice, wonderful, wonderful points. Yeah, we pray to Krishna, please remove our lust, because we cannot deal with it. It's like a freight train. If you're on the rails, you're finished. You'll be run over. But we can pray to Krishna sincerely. Please, Krishna, we have so much dirt in our heart. Please remove that. Wonderful, NCR. Thank you. Jeffrey Eckler. Hare Krishna.
Good morning, Hare Krishna. Thank you. The point that Nancy brings up is the same point that I was caught on. And I love the mechanism by which you turn toward Krishna in order for Krishna to remove. So like the gopis here, they want Krishna to be their husband. They want to be Krishna's maidservant. They want these things, and that lust leads to frustration, and they sense it in themselves. And so they say, place your feet on my breast so that you can remove this lust, because their desire for Krishna is becoming mixed in some way, or at least in their own perspective. And so I was looking up here a conversation between Prabhupada and Dr. Ware of the Mensa Society. And he said, and if you'll indulge me a moment, I'll read this little bit. But he says, we don't say, just like you cannot see properly because our eyes are diseased, to cure the disease and then you see properly. And others say, all right, pluck it out. The disease in the eye, take it away. That is not a very good proposition. We say that make a treatment to make the eyes see properly, remedy the problem. Our proposition is sarvapadi vinir muktam tat paradvena. We simply cleanse the process. The seeing process we cleanse. We don't pluck out the eyes out of frustration. Don't see, make everything void. No, we say that because there is no void, it is simply frustration. There is a variety, a nice variety, a spiritual variety. We are bringing people to that position. And the quote that he references there from Madhya Lila is, bhakti or devotional service means engaging all of our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freedom from all material designations, and one's senses are purified simply by being employed in the service of the Lord. So this act of the gopis, as explained subsequently, is really a desire that is pure, cleansing a desire that is impure. And it always reminds me of the kind of remove the splinter with a thorn kind of saying. Is you use these material leanings and purify them to make them spiritual. And the gopis show us that over and over in this pastime. But I really like that phrasing that Nancy brought to light here, and I've been caught up on it too. So thank you. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jeffrey Eckler Prabhu. Yeah, the senses aren't meant to be shut down. They're meant to be engaged positively. Because it's sustainable that way, right? How much can we tolerate? It's like a tsunami. It will build up and then the dam will be broken. But if we engage, then it's sustainable. I die each time I hear the sound of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? Jeffrey, thank you. Okay, who wants to contribute next? We're going to call out people who have their cameras on. Mike, Cowley, would you like to say something? In glorification of Krishna, it can be a reflection, anything. Maybe a testimony or something that stuck out to you.
Sure. I do like what everyone's been saying about shattering of the false pride, right, or the false ego. I think it's, for me, the biggest stumbling block in this practice is my false ego. I find it, or my false pride, I find it kicking in 24/7. So, if I can, even when I'm like really good, I find like simple things. I remember my teacher, I don't know if you know Yogi Charu. He's at
Yes, we know Yogi Charu, yes.
So he used to say, you could be really, really good. And then wait till you work with a coworker and see how that false ego kicks in, and it kicks in so many times. But I find it, that's why that line, I really do like it, that, if you surrender to Krishna, if that smile shatters it, and you realize that person that you're working with, coworker, right, also is a spirit soul, right, then all of a sudden you can come back to the path of bhakti, you can come back to the path of devotion, instead of this false ego, false pride taking over and really making life much more difficult than it needs to be.
Yes, Mike, thank you.
Yeah.
It made me think that pride, lust, all those things, they just lead to nothing but frustration. It's not even pleasurable. We talk about those things as pleasures, but they aren't pleasurable, really. Maybe immediately they provide some sort of relief, some sort of, they medicate our pain sometimes, but it's just painful. Like lust is, we go for it, I go for it, but it's not even satisfying. Pride is not even, it's not even pleasurable. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's so much more fun to live life of a devotee, of a humble servant who is there to serve, who is there to encourage everybody. And then our own problems, they will be taken care of, in due course. If we make ourselves available to serve others, to help others, inspire others in their bhakti, then our own difficulties will be taken care of. Thank you, Mike. Prabhu. Okay, who should I call out next? Let me see. So next, I'm going to be calling out people who have pictures on their profiles, not just blank screens. And if you're working, that's fine. That's fine. Just, I'm going to call out Aaron. Aaron, how are you? What would you like to share in this community class? Of course, if you're not in the office, pretending that you're working.
Hare Krishna, good morning. Thank you, Mike, for saying that, because I was sitting here thinking, is false pride the same as false ego? And just kind of going back and forth with that in my mind. I was actually talking about the false ego yesterday in my yoga class that I teach at the Bhakti Center. And afterwards, just thinking so much more about how it's not just like our attachment to our body or our identities, whatever those might be, but, just so much more subtle than that. Anytime that we get caught thinking I'm the doer, or I'm so good at this, or this is this is mine, or this is just I feel much more insidious. So I share that feeling with you, Mike, that it is such a big stumbling block. Thank you, Haribol.
Thank you, Erin. The Maya may be very subtle, very subtle. You're right. Very subtle things we're dealing here with. Gail. Hare
Hey,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Do you just want like reflections, or is there space for questions?
You can only ask a question if Krishna Daya Prabhu is on the call. Then you can ask a question.
Well, it was a question about something you said, though.
Okay, I'll let you ask the question and I'll let Krishna Daya answer it.
Okay. Passing the buck. Okay. I think this is probably an obvious question, but I just want it to be spelled out for myself why it is that if you say, I don't want to work with this person, then that is an example of false pride. I mean, I can't really, nothing immediately comes to my mind about my having that experience, but I wasn't able to make that connection immediately, what the connection is between not wanting to work with certain people and false pride.
Beautiful question, Gail. Krishna Daya Prabhu, you talked about that. It's your call.
I was referring to pride in sense that we are the best. That's what the gopis felt. So that's Krishna doesn't like that, because we need to acknowledge others also, and then dasanadas mode. Others are best. That's what is a gopi bhava. Push others in front, saying that Krishna, this gopi is better than me. That's what Krishna appreciates. And not working with others, there can be multiple reasons. May not be like we may not be comfortable, and that may degrade our consciousness. So maintaining respectful distance is no harm. But thinking that they are inferior to us in the sense of may not be like technical things, but I can do better than them. So that sort of thing, it's not good, because there is always somebody who can do better than us. So thinking we are the best is something which is not good. And then false pride is like, I am the doer. So that is not recognizing the other players. Like there is Lord whose hand is there is the environment, there is the time factor, and then so Ishvara, Kala, Karma, Prakriti, environment. So there are other factors. Thinking I am the only one, so that is not healthy. Yeah.
Thank you, Krishna Daya Prabhu. Beautifully explained.
Yes.
Pride is never pride is not an isolated quality. It's always, I'm better than others. I am the doer, and all the other people are the background or the object of my sensual enjoyment. I am and everything. Everybody else is an object of my enjoyment. Pride always works, is always in relation to others, like Krishna Daya Prabhu described. Thank you, Krishna Daya Prabhu, for helping us make this connection. Gail.
Thank you. Also, yeah, I really like the answer too. And also, just to repeat, he also said that, when you think you're the best, you don't realize that there's always somebody who can do better than you too.
You're just in a small town. You just move into a bigger town and you'll see.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Gail. Where's Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, good morning. I'd like to say a few points, which is one of the closest things that inspires me to that smile is when we see Jamuna Jaya, and her smile is just so radiant and just uplifts you. Just uplifts you without just seeing her face in this light is just so. I wanted to share that. How each and every time I feel that smile, it just pierces through my heart. And on the flip side is I have children, and when my children have been in anguish and they're crying or they're upset, and everything is ending, the world is over, and then all of a sudden they give you that smile after they've come over the other side. This is just such a powerful feeling of that smile, and I can just imagine what what it would be like to even begin to simply imagine Krishna's smile. The other thing is, last night I was given amazing guidance about self-pride, and Champakalata's Bhagavatam class. I asked a question, and ultimately it led to the mood of service and being in that right mood, and also realizing that I worship the deities with Krishna's smile and his face. And I was corrected because I have lust inside of me that takes over, and so many conditions that I realized through her great guidance last night that I need to be at his feet. And there is no room for me to be above the feet. So this self-pride that I had, that I bypassed the feet through ignorance, I'm shaking with goosebumps right now thinking of it. Like, I was happily corrected and realized my position in my worship of Krishna and that path of service to loving him and serving him the best of my ability. So you mentioned this point of, worshiping the smile and worshiping the feet. I'm going to stay at the feet for a while. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Bruce Prabhu. Yeah, we are fearless and prideless at the lotus feet of Krishna. Prideless at the lotus feet of Krishna. Beautiful point. And today, dear devotees, Amrita Kishori is celebrating her appearance day. Amrita Kishori Didi, we love you so much. Thank you so much. You're such a pillar to this class. And Amrita Kishori is an embodiment of humble servitorship attitude. That's what she has. She has that quality. She's always there to serve others. She's in the pujari room. She's in the Zoom room, helping us keeping this yagya going. Amrita Kishori, thank you. We're just taking this opportunity to thank you, to bow down to you, to your services. She's a singer. She's an actress. She's a beautiful girl. Look at her. Look how beautiful she is. Amrita Kishori. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we have Adipusha Prabhu. Would you like to reflect or share something?
Well, we pray that Prabhupada will give us something to say. I don't have personally anything to say. But of course, Gail's question is always excellent. If I don't want to serve with this person. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, we are born into delusion based on desire and hate. I want this, I don't want that. I like this, I don't. And so that's our disturbed position. And the verses are about suffering and satisfaction. And Prahlad Maharaj explains, as soon as I begin my endeavor for my own happiness, my suffering begins. But when we have service attitude, just like one very wealthy man was saying, Prabhupada, we want you to go to the Bahamas. We want to pay for you to go to a beautiful celestial tropical island, and you will enjoy and be comfortable. And Prabhupada said, I will go wherever Krishna allows me to go, but I will go there to serve. I won't go there for my own pleasure. And here comes Radha Muralidar's smile. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri.
Bring your family to the stream.
Krishna. Govinda. Jai Radha Muralidhar. Love.
Sorry, save us. Give us. Okay, dear devotees, that was it. We did it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel encouraged to live the life of service, the life of surrender, life of cooperation with other devotees. Thank you so much for this, for doing this class collectively. Venetia and Monkey, good to see you. Venetia is driving. Look at her face. Yeah, there comes the smile. Dana Krishna's Radharani Yogeshwari, Suzanne Preeti Chaturvedi, Bhima Prabhu, Gail, thank you so much, Suzanne. Ram, Hare Krishna Ram Prabhu. Bhima Prabhu, pull up his ear so I can chant in his ear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Nice, nice. Okay, have a wonderful